Thank you all for joining the session. In the last week, we have discussed about Amazon EC2, introduction to EC2 services, different types of EC2 instances, how to create Windows instance, how to create Linux instance. So these are the concepts we discussed. Anything else? Anybody have any questions on the previous topics? No? Thank you. So today we are going to talk about cloud storage. So let me log into the AWS Management Console. I'm going to EC2 service. So here we're going to talk about this service, Elastic Block Store. So what is meaning of Elastic Block Store? It is a cloud storage, okay? Cloud database services. So in your local laptop and desktop, you have a C drive, D drive, E drive, different types of drives you are creating, right? In AWS environment, whoever creating a server, either Windows, Linux, or Mac, the particular operating system, the instance complete data will be stored in EBS data store. So this is equivalent amount of the storage which is using in your real-time environment, in your day-to-day life, your physical laptop, the locally attached storage. So EBS is equal to DAS, directly attached storage. So today we are going to learn how to use this Elastic Block Storage and what are the daily tasks we are performing in your real-time environment. We're going to learn this. So EBS full form, Elastic Block Storage. So that means it is exact your physical hard disk, what are the technology, the architecture, the similar kind of architecture will be maintained by Amazon. It's a block level architecture. And it is a persistent and block level storage. So whatever the data you are storing on the instance, the data will be stored on the block level in the storage. Vertical and the horizontal blocks will be available. So in that blocks only the data will be stored. And this data will be as a persistent. That means if user is logged in and you're doing some changes, after log off, the data will be saved in the local system. Even after reboot, login back, the data will be available. It's called persistent. So some storages will be non-persistent. We don't have any other those kind of technology we are using in AWS environment. Okay. So coming to this particular Elastic Block Storage is specific to availability zone in the region. Example, you created Elastic Block Storage in availability zone 1 in North Virginia. Even instance also you should create in the same availability zone and region. So then only the instance can able to communicate to the particular volume. Okay. So any point of failure, okay, any point of failure, so we can easily recover by using the snapshot technology. And this Elastic Block Storage will be providing high availability and durability. So mostly always 24/7 the service is available you have a 100% safe to run your applications and data. If you want to take any backup, you can use any third party, and AWS solutions also available. You can use and you can take the backup. So in EBS, they'll use a different types of hardware devices to create a volumes. So one is solid state drives, second one hard drives, and magnetic drives. So basically there are two types of drives are available. Okay, so let me go to AWS console. Here the volumes is available. In the volumes at present only 30 GB volume is there. So who created this volume? So basically in North Virginia location, instances already running. There's a one instance we created last week. This instance volume will be stored on EBS only. This volume we call as ephemeral storage. That means operating system will be running here. So if you want to create any additional volume here, you have a different types of volume types will be available. SSD hard disk, and magnetic tape, magnetic hard drives also available. Magnetic and HDD hard drives are very old technology. Nowadays, everywhere we are using SSD. Even your personal laptops and desktops, nowadays we are using SSD only. Okay. So even in this SSD, for normal operations and for application IO, input output intensive oriented applications, we can use different methods are there. That's called provisioned IOPS SSD method is available. So normal applications and the usage, you can create an instance with a general purpose SSD. That's a GP2 or maybe GP3. You can use it. So these particular volume types have input output per second. The speed is available for the data accessibility 3,000 by 300 by 3000 IOPS is the maximum support will be available for SSD. And if you go for provisioned IOPS, so the straight away minimum 100 IOPS you can start. The maximum will be 5,000. Okay. So the limitation is up to 50 input output per GB will be there. That's a very huge count. Okay. Let me duplicate this window. You can see here instances. This instance is running on 1B. Okay, 1B. So let me start this server. Let me start this server. So now I'm going to create a new volume in North Virginia location. Click create a volume. General purpose GP2 will be there. The size you can create a minimum 1 GB to maximum 16,384 GB you can create. That's a 16 terabytes. I'm giving 10 GB of storage space here. So now I'm creating this volume in US East 1A. US East 1A. In North Virginia location, we have 6 data centers are available because of big data centers available in North Virginia only. 7 data centers, 7 availability zones. But now I'm creating this 10 GB volume in availability zone A. I'm going to give the name. What's the name here? So US, maybe I can give that 10 GB volume in 1A. Okay, 1A. This is the name I'm creating it. So instead of giving a space, I'm giving hyphens for better visibility. Create a volume. Now volume is creating, please wait. Let's refresh the session. The volume is created. This is 1A volume. I'm going to create one more volume in 1B. Create a volume. Now both volumes are available. Okay. Now both volumes are available. A and B. Availability zone A 10 GB volume and 1B 10 GB volume, both are available. What's the next step? So I want to attach this volume to the existing instance which is running on North Virginia. This is the instance. I'm going to connect. Right click and get the password. This is the password. Enter here. Now successfully connected the Windows server. You can see here the mission C drive space. It is showing 30 GB. Now we want to add additional volume D drive and E drive. So for testing purpose, I created one 10 GB volume in availability zone A and one 10 GB in availability zone B. So how can I add this? Example, availability zone A volume, I'm going to select attach volume to the instance. No instances are running in availability zone A. Okay? Click cancel. Select the availability zone B, click action, attach volume, click on drop down list and select this. Select this. So now this particular 1B, the availability zone B, one instance is running NVW16 Web01. So the device name will be adding with the XVDF. It's a standard names. Don't change anything. Click attach volume. So now this 10 GB from availability zone B volume is attached to the instance successfully. Now can go here, and refresh. By default, by directly it is not coming the 10 GB in the file explorer. You can go to run disk mg empty.msc, disk mg empty.msc, and the 10 GB volume is showing here. It is a offline. Bring into online, right click and initialize the disk. If you initialize the disk, it will ask, hey, you want to create this volume as a MBR partition or GPT partition. So guys, what is meaning of MBR partition and what is meaning of GPT partition? So first we need to understand. So MBR versus GPT. So guys, GPT means not a GPT chat, okay? So this is actually is a file type model. So MBR full form master boot record. GPT full form GWT partition table. So what is the difference between MBR partition and GPT partitions? Example, you have taken your system and your hard disk is formatted with file systems are created with MBR. So what will happen in the background? Let me explain. If any drive you created, the partition capacity maximum 2 terabyte. More than 2 terabyte, it is not possible. Okay, more than 2 terabyte is not possible. If the same system, if the same storage is created with the file system, which is a GPT, you will get a 9.4 gigabyte storage you can create as a single volume. So what is meaning of 9.4 gigabyte means 1 GB. Okay, 1 gigabyte is 1 billion terabytes. So now here only 2 terabytes. 1 billion terabyte means what? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs terabytes. 10 lakhs terabytes equals to 1 gigabyte. 1 billion means 10 lakhs, right? 1 billion means 1 billion is 10 lakhs, huh? No. 1 million is 10 lakhs. 1 billion is 100 lakhs. Am I correct? Guys, can you please correct me? Whoever mathematics. I'm audible?
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Correct. 100 lakhs is 1 billion. Okay. So 100 lakhs terabytes equal to 1 gigabyte means, so it's a very, very huge data, but nobody using like that. Maybe this GPT will be used in the cloud in a vast level. I'm expecting that. Okay, as a normal user, zettabyte is a very, very higher thing, higher number. We cannot use it. Okay. So next, in MBR, if you're creating a drive partitions, only allowed 4 partitions. Even the 4 partitions are primary partitions. 4 partitions are primary partitions. Let me explain what is meaning of primary partitions. Only 4 we can use it. Only 4 we can use it. Let me explain. Suppose this is a hard disk. Okay. This is a hard disk. So 1000 GB, that means 1 terabyte. So with this hard disk, okay, with this hard disk, how many drives you can create? How many drives you can create? Example, C drive we created. Suppose C drive we created with 100 GB. Still how much is available here? 900 GB, right? So after some time again I'm creating one more drive. This is D drive. So D drive is a 200 GB. Let's assume 200 GB. Still how much is available now? 100 plus 200, 300. Remaining 700 GB is available. So in this 700 GB, I can create only two more drives. Two more drives only I can create. Two more drives only I can create. Okay? I cannot create a more than 4 drives because when we creating the drives, it will ask the partitions, primary partitions only allowed in the MBR. Primary partitions only allowed in the MBR. So this is MBR partition, master boot record. So I can create only 4 partitions, 4 primary partitions. I can use my hard disk storage capacity. So minimum 1 GB, maximum 2 terabyte. Okay. Suppose E drive also created with the 200. So remaining 500 GB, I don't have any other option. I need to create F drive. F drive. Remaining 500 GB, we need to use it. Whether you are using or not, you can create it. Suppose if you create a 200 GB only, so 300 GB is completely waste. So either you can increase the existing drive, but you cannot create a new drive. Only 4 drives are possible. So because it is a primary partitions. These all are primary partitions. Okay? These all are primary partitions. I cannot create more than that. I cannot create more than that. But if you want to create, more than 4 drives, there is some process is there, you need to follow that. So whatever the drives you created, 4 drives, the last drive you can remove it. Okay, the last drive you can remove it. Suppose this drive, E drive, right? So how much you're giving? 200 GB, right? The remaining 500 GB, you can create a extended partition. You can create extended partition. What do you mean that? Extended partition. So how much is there? Extended partition? 500 GB is there. So with this 500 GB of extended partitions, again you can create multiple drives with the 500 GB. So F, G, H, like these drives you can create. Okay? But these partitions, okay, called as logical partitions. Okay? These partitions are called as logical partitions. These all are called as primary partitions. These all are called as primary partitions. Everybody's understand, right? What is the primary partitions, extended partitions, and logical partitions in MBR?
Rajesh, the primary partition cannot be, again subpartition, right?
Sorry?
As I was asking whether the primary partition can be subpartitioned again. Can I have further drives
Not
within it?
possible. Not possible.
Oh, okay. So for extended partition, do we have to provide some properties so that it can be treated as an extended one, or?
So if you are, okay, if you are creating with extended partitions, if you want to create a logical partitions, you can create a number of partitions. Okay? Infinite number of logical partitions you can create. There is no limit
Okay.
from the extended. Okay? If you go
All
with
right.
the primary, only 4.
Only 4.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Good. Next, if you go with the GPT partition, 128 primary partitions you can create. 128 primary means it's a very huge count. Hmm? And next, firmware interface. Firmware interface support BIOS and UEFI. UEFI is the latest version, BIOS is the older version. So based on the model, you can use it. If you want GPT, you need a UEFI. Most of this now systems are last 7-8 years. It is a UEFI, but still we are called as BIOS only. Because of we are habituated with the old names, huh? So still we are using the same name BIOS, but we should not call it as BIOS. We call it as UEFI. Now coming to the operating system up to Windows 7, okay, MBR. After Windows 8, okay, please go to GPT. Okay. So now in this concept today, you can do whatever you want. Either you can create a MBR GPT 10 GB, right? We don't have any differences here. Click on MBR partition. Now this 10 GB unallocated, you can create a new simple volume. Click on next, 10 GB, next, D drive, next. If you want to give any label for this D drive, you can label, click finish. So successfully the 10 GB volume is created as a D drive. Any questions now?
In the extended partition, what kind of data we can store in the
Any data you can, any data. We don't have any restrictions, only we can store this type of data.
Okay, we
Any
can
type
store
of data you
normal
can
files
store.
also.
Any data you can store it.
Okay.
So next scenario is, the next scenario is how to increase the existing volume. How to increase the existing volume. That's a very important. Suppose the system drive is that 10 GB, sorry, 30 GB. I'm going to increase to 40 GB. Select the volume, action, modify volume, Make it 40. Make it 40. Only incremental is possible, decremental is not possible. So that's why don't give initial level too much of space unnecessarily. Click modify, modify, that's it. So now it's taking some time, please wait. Let me refresh the screen. Still is in optimizing. Better you can check this. 1%. It'll take some time to complete this process. Please wait. Record will be paused during that time. Yes, you can ask your question.
All right. So these volumes 1A and 1B, these 20 GBs, are those taken from the initial volume ID of 40 GB now?
I'm not getting your question clearly.
Okay. So my question, let me rephrase. Is it that right now I'm taking 60 GB of volume, or is it like the 40 GB is the total allocation, of which volume 1A and 1B are taking 20 GB?
So these all volumes are coming from EBS service that is managed by AWS management service. We don't have any control to check which is coming from single drive or multiple drives. So the storage will be allocating by EBS service with a volume ID. With this volume ID only we'll be able to reflecting the screen, and we can attach, detach, and we can modify, and we can use this storage.
Okay. So right now I have 60 GB in total, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Consist of 3 volumes, not single volume.
Okay. And does the volume level has any significance?
Significant means,
Like,
can you give me a scenario?
a scenario like, do I really need it, to specify somewhere that I want to access
Mandatorily, we
this
need to
volume?
specify how much you want.
Okay.
Later on, you can increase, not a problem. So
Okay.
better suggestion is initially start with a low space.
Okay.
Let me refresh the screen. Almost 63% is completed. So wait a few more minutes to complete 100%. Then we can see this 40% of the 40 GB will be reflecting on the server disk management. Then we can increase 30 GB to 40 GB inside the operating system. So please wait.
Hey, Rajesh, in the meanwhile, what does this snapshot field indicates? Is it saying that this particular volume is being backed up?
I'm not getting your question clearly. Can you repeat once again?
Okay, this field snapshot.
Okay, I didn't explain now. So after this expanding the volume, okay, and with the two scenarios like a C drive and other drives, I'll show you. Then after that, I'll move to the snapshot. Okay. After the snapshot, lifecycle manager.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
We can use for database instance creation, right?
Not database, data store. Data store, not a database. Database means SQL, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL. These all are databases. This is data store. Data store
Only
is
that.
different. Database is different.
Okay.
Maybe if anywhere if I pronounce like maybe database, maybe please correct yourself. That is a
Yeah.
data store. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Perfect. I think 40 GB successfully uh, upgraded. Okay. We are successfully increased. So the volume state also in use. Now go to the instance. Now refreshing the screen. So how to refresh? Go to action, refresh, rescan hard disk. Anything would be fine. So rescan hard disk. Now 30 GB will become as of 40 GB. See, the 10 GB showing in the end of this line. So what we need to do, you can right click on this blue, extend the volume, add the additional 10 GB to the 30 GB, click finish. So now totally 40 GB is added. Now the totally 40 GB is added to the C drive. Let me show you. Refresh the screen. Now it's a 40 GB. Okay. Any other question? Same method for additional drives also. No changes at all. No changes at all. Same thing. Any questions here? No questions, right? Thank you. So the next concept is snapshots. Hey, what is the use of snapshot? So right, most of the people are using phone to take the pictures. So what is the use of pictures? Taking the photo, capturing the memories, right? Same way, the snapshot also is a capturing the memories of volume. Okay. During the time, whatever the state it is, that state will capture just like a camera. Okay. So, example, I'm a 70 kgs person. So maybe Canon D700 camera was taken one small photo. Maybe the photo is not a 70 kgs. Okay. Right. So maybe the photo will be depends on the pixel size, whatever the position and whatever the mode the photographer we have taken the photo, maybe the size will be minimum 4 MB to maximum 15 MB, 20 MB it will create. Huh? It depends on the depth and light, everything will be uh, comes into the picture. Okay, I'm not taking the photography. Let's come to the storage. Okay, here the volume, the particular volume, okay, example D drive with the 10 GB, the 10 GB, the entire state, some data is stored on the volume. Okay, so now at the present time, the time is 5:51 p.m. IST, April 1st. Okay, so in this moment, I have taken a snapshot. At this point, whatever the data here available on the D drive, the complete data will be capturing and keep it in a separate file, which is called snapshot. So what is the use unnecessarily you're taking a snapshot? Yes, this is actually used for disaster recovery purpose, and in case of any failures happen in the server, we can restore the data and we can continue our services without any data loss. So for the snapshot is taking for the volume level, instance level. So both are possible. Example, when you create a snapshot, you can create a snapshot for volume level, you can create a snapshot for instance level. If you're creating a snapshot for volume level, only the particular volume will take the snapshot and it will stored on the EBS system. If you're taking the instance, the complete instance of no matter what, how many volumes are there, the complete volumes about the instance, it will take the back with the snapshot. So if you selected, only volume only you can recover. If you select instance, the complete instance we can recover with the exact state. Okay, exact state. So in what situation we will take the volume? So if any data you're keeping in a particular location and you're running some services and it's going good, and you feel that today you want to take the backup in case of anyone is deleted and corrupted, we can restore it. That is the purpose we are using the volume. Instance, you are upgrading some applications one version to another version. After upgrading, the server is went down because of the application upgradation. So there is no other opportunity, right? If you are taking a snapshot of instance level, even after upgrade, no matter what, you can restore to the previous session at any point of time. That is called instance snapshot. Okay. Now I'm going to take a volume level snapshot for the D drive volume. So D drive, I'm going to create some sample data for testing purpose. Example, I'm creating a new folder in this particular D drive. So the volume, the particular D drive volume, inside the folder name is example important IMP, and inside the directory I'm creating some notepad file. This is something important data you can consider. Okay, this is something very, very important, very, very important. Okay, now save this notepad file, and we can close it here. Now that's it. Now we are doing our job. Unfortunately, if this particular D drive is corrupted, your data will be gone, right? So in case you feel that the volume you want to take a snapshot, go to the particular volume, select the particular volume here, okay, 10 GB, and you can go to action, create a snapshot, and you can give the name. Example, D drive snapshot, and you can give the tags, is equal name equal to D drive snapshot data, create request. Now the snapshot is creating here. In the snapshot list. Now it's taking some time, please wait.
Hey, Rajesh, how much storage this snapshot thing takes?
Could you please repeat your question?
I was asking how much storage this snapshot itself takes.
Good question. What are the volume size is that? The complete volume size will be taking. So 10 GB means 10 GB. If 100 GB means 100 GB.
Wow.
So now the snapshot is completed 100%. So now I'm going to the server, go to the file explorer, D drive, this important data. Okay, this is the data, right? Huh? This data I'm deleting. Okay. This data I'm deleting. So next, if I can open, I don't have any data inside this notepad file. So I can restore the snapshot. I'll get the data back. See how I'll be doing it. Go to the volumes. Go to the volumes. This is the volume, right? Select detach volume. Please wait for some time. It is removed. Now go to snapshot. Select the snapshot. Action. Create a volume from the snapshot. Same, no changes. But you should create in the availability zone B because of instance running on availability zone B. You can give the name of the snapshot new volume. So D drive volume from snapshot. Okay, just for your understanding. Create it. Now can go to the volumes. Refresh here. Refresh here. Now see this. It's created. Now can select. Before select, you can go to File Explorer, this PC, no D drive, attach volume, instance name, attach volume. That's it. See, automatically D drive volume is coming. Important data. You can see this, the data is available now. So this is a way we can get the data easily. We can get the data easily. Any other questions?
Yeah, I would imagine it would take additional cost if I use this snapshot feature.
Yes,
Or
if you use the snapshot, it will cost additional price for storage. Okay?
Yep.
Storage, EBS storage charges will be applicable.
Okay, thanks.
So somebody is asking question in snapshot. Now can ask. Any questions?
Yeah, just to confirm again, if I have a volume of size 10 GB and I'm using snapshot for that volume, the snapshot itself will also take 10 GB, additional 10 GB, right?
Yes, to store that particular empty volume with the data, to store the backup size also will be consumed 10 GB.
Okay, and is it static or kind of it takes 10 GB when I
No. It will
define?
not. It
No,
will not
it's
take
flexible.
entire 10 GB will be chargeable. What are the data you are using? That the data
Okay,
will be get chargeable.
okay, that
Example,
makes
2
sense.
GB or 3 GB. Only 2 GB, 3 GB will get chargeable.
Okay.
No questions, right? So what is meaning of life cycle manager? What is meaning of life cycle manager? So life cycle manager is nothing but at a particular time you want to take a snapshot, you can create a life cycle policy. So it will take the snapshot during the particular time. And even if you don't want to maintain the snapshot for a longer period of time, you can schedule for a deletion so that everything goes with a life cycle. Automate the creation, retention, copy, deletion of snapshot and AMS. So this is a job will be taken care by lifecycle manager. So we have a different types of options are there. One is EBS snapshot policy, EBS backed AMI policy, cross account copy event policy. Example, if you want to deletion or modification, anything you want to do it on the snapshot, you can use this. If you want to do it on AMI, Amazon Machine Image, you can select this. And if you want to manage the other AWS account events, if you want to manage, you can select this. So don't go for this, and you can select the snapshot policy. Click on next. So if you want to take this volume level snapshot, instance level snapshot, you can select this. I can give the name, exact name, which one you want to do that. And by default, IAM role policy will be available. If you need any additional policy, you can select other roles as well. You can give the tags and you can enable the policy and you can click next. And I need to enter this, then only you can add it, otherwise no. So you can listen carefully. Target resource type. Select the type of resources that you want to be targeted. Possibilities, I'm going to create a life cycle policy. Okay, life cycle policy snapshot for volume. So the name of the volume name is, suppose this is the one I'm going to select. Example, D drive volume from snapshot I'm selecting. Click add. So this is a way you can add a multiple volumes to take the snapshot with the lifecycle manager. Even if you want a instance also, you want to take a separately, you can select this. Suppose I want to take the instance NVW16 Web01. You can add like this. So in a single policy, I can create a volume level snapshot and instance level snapshot. And coming here, policy description, you can give the name. So my web app snapshot volume and instance 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 web app volume and instance. So IAM rule is default. Now can click on next and it will ask, hey, when you want to schedule it. You can create a multiple schedules. Schedule number 1. Hey, I want to take the snapshot daily. every 12 hours. Maybe you can give the intervals, how much time you want, and when you want to take, you can give the time. How many counts you need to create. After that, you want to discard it, yes, it will automatically discard it. If you want to keep how many counts, like a 3 snapshots or 4 snapshots or 5 snapshots you want to keep, you can keep that. Remaining will be automatically deleted. Okay, so this is the overall option, and when you click review policy, and you can create it. Example, I'm keeping only 2 snapshots and review policy, and finally I'm creating it. I'm not creating, just I'm helping you. Any other question? No? Good. Cancel. Now I'm going to EBS backed AMI policy. This is a completely related to AMI. Which AMI you want to select? The resource I'm selecting, this is a one web01. Can give the name, the policy name, my demo, and now click on next. So can give the name, you can give to add into the list, and then only can create it. Same schedule, and click finish. No changes at all. So previously, only for instances, here AMS. So this is a overall AWS Lifecycle Manager. So you can easily manage this. Don't have any problem here. Now can start with your questions in EBS topic. No questions? Thank you. And one more important thing, and how to remove the volumes and how to delete the snapshots. I'll show you. So I'm going to the volumes. The 10 GB volumes I'm going to remove. Select the volume, delete volume, like this. So delete option is not coming because of this volume is attached to the instance. First you have to detach and wait for some time. Refresh here. Now it is in available. Now can select action. Now it's delete volume is coming. Delete it. Okay. And snapshots. Please delete the snapshots also. Huh? So That is a Amazon Elastic Block Storage concept. So the next class is network and security topic.